I am still very enthusiastic when it comes to the future of Echelon Prime. Now, I can't tell the future, but at least I like the hypothetical fundamentals of Echelon as of right now, and I'm not going to give up, even though nothing I say is financial advice. I think that Echelon Prime could really be, one of these major players in the blockchain gaming space, and Prime, hypothetically, let's say, of course, its utility token going to the price of $100 wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Now, we have to think about how when it comes to blockchain gaming, sometimes people like to argue that, okay, man, there's too many competitors and all this type of stuff, but we have to take a look at Echelon, in terms of its community, in terms of its, exchange listings when it comes to Prime. It's pretty good, in my opinion. It's not like it's the best of all time, but I really do like it still. Not to mention, we have to take a look at what is Echelon trying to exactly do when it comes to blockchain gaming, right? Because, for instance, Echelon is a platform that enables games to leverage blockchain features. So I think that's pretty interesting. When we take a look at the blockchain gaming market, it is predicted to be worth over $300 billion by 2030, according to Grandview Research. So in theory, that could maybe be such a massive market. I mean, quite frankly, if that figure ever becomes true, that's bigger than some countries' GDP, actually. So that is something that I find very fascinating. Not to mention, when I take a look at Echelon, what is something that they're kind of known for? I'm not saying they're popular or something like that in the grand scheme of things, but still kind of something that they're known for, and that is their involvement with something called Parallel. Now, Parallel, it allegedly is a digital trading card game, and more specifically, it's a sci-fi based competitive card game. Now, let's not forget, some people may be thinking, this kind of like game genre is not that famous. Well, think about this, right? According to Zion Market Research, the global trading card game market is predicted to reach over $11 billion by the end of 2030. So it's not necessarily going to become the biggest, sector out there when it comes to gaming, but I still think it's pretty interesting nonetheless. And when we take a look at Parallel, from what I can see at least, the graphics, they don't really look like the traditional blockchain games where we just kind of are accustomed to seeing, oh wow, these blockchain games that are, kind of bad graphics, kind of like boring to play and all this type of stuff. It doesn't have that vibe to me. Now, the way you take a look at it is that Echelon still has a ways to go. It's not like Parallel is anything that is gonna overtake like Batman, the video game or something, but I still kind of think that it's kind of interesting to see what Echelon is kind of involved in already, and I kind of like the trajectory of this project, even though, only time will tell, but I still am a fan of it nonetheless. Now, some people out there, they like to kind of, think that, Echelon, it's kind of like not really there, it's not really able to compete with other players, but in my opinion, take a look at some of Echelon's competitors, like for instance, Gala, we take a look at Engine, we take a look at Beam, for instance, right? Of course, there's some others like Superverse, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, it's not like these projects have too much going on for it either, because generally speaking, blockchain gaming isn't kind of like fully, I would say 100% yet, in a sense that it's not like when people take a look at blockchain gaming, they're like, oh yeah, it's fun and all this. The general kind of consensus, I feel like, when it comes to blockchain gaming isn't necessarily the best yet. But then I kind of don't mind that because, first of all, even though Echelon may not be doing like 20 or 30 different things at once, it feels like to me, it doesn't really matter because a lot of its competitors aren't really doing that either. It's kind of not expected. And not to mention, I kind of want to believe in, a market sector that hasn't really taken off yet. Because imagine if I believe in blockchain gaming like 5 years later or whatever like that. Could you imagine what sort of development may happen along the way? So then I kind of don't want that. I kind of want to believe in a up and coming market, which hypothetically maybe blockchain gaming is, because I just think it's so unique. I think it's so interesting, but it still has a ways to go. I'll give it that because it's not really the best. Many people out there would rather play, Batman in their living room or whatever instead of, playing some blockchain game that probably not a lot of people have heard of, right? So there's still ways to go there when it comes to blockchain gaming, but I still like the kind of idea and the narrative behind it. Let's say Prime were to go to the price of $100, considering current circulating supply, market cap at that point would be around 3.6 billion. That's around a 45x from here. Who knows if we'll ever reach that, but at least to me, around a $3.5 billion market cap, it doesn't seem like too ridiculous. We've seen like Dogecoin reach over 80 billion. That's over, 20 times more than this. I am not saying that this can ever defeat Dogecoin, by the way, because it just has a lot of fans, but achieving a glimpse of that maybe. We gotta think about this, right? I get it. again, $100 around a 45x from here, but I feel like the factors right now might hypothetically look way more bullish than back in 2021, despite the market conditions not necessarily doing the best. Let me explain why. Because in kind of like a vacuum, just in this space, there's over 600 million crypto owners currently. That's more than ever before in history, allegedly, and that figure is according to Crypto.com research. Keep in mind, during the peak of the 2021 bull run, around 300 million crypto owners, so we pretty much have double right now, and we have never seen Bitcoin reach 150 grand, let alone 200 grand, and we still have those figures. Take a look at the hype for the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF. I get it, slight pullback, slight recovery as of right now, but still, I feel like the hype surrounding that seems a little bit good to me. Not to mention the number of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption. So I think that really, just within this space, the factors are looking hypothetically very bullish, but then the markets in general aren't really allowing for that to kind of showcase itself. And I think a reason why is because, again, all these factors wouldn't really mean too much if the markets overall are not going to be, doing that good. So then, in my opinion, if let's say the markets did get better, what would happen to these factors, right? What would it do? Only time will tell, but I'm still very excited. It's a marathon to me. It's not a sprint. What I do is I just believe in projects that I find interesting, that I like. I dollar cost average, I hold, and I just wait. Literally, that's it. Beyond that, I can't do anything else. And that's all I focus on. I just focus on the projects that I like, and then that's it. Beyond that, I can't do anything. So as of right now, I'm just going to stay patient and just, treat this like, again, a marathon. I like the narrative when it comes to blockchain gaming. I mean, I get it. That market sector did hypothetically pretty good back in 2021. Who knows if it's ever going to kind of showcase that this time around? Because some people like to say, oh, there's too many competitors. Well, there is more competitors, but then we have to think about how many of them are viable, right? How many of them can actually kind of compete? It's not like there's drastically too many more that are hypothetically that good, because a lot of these projects that are launching, in my opinion, in theory, that I've seen at least hypothetically, are like a bunch of these meme coins that who knows if they're ever going to gain much traction. So yes, on paper, there is more competitors when compared to back in 2021, but then how many of them are viable? So I'm still going to believe in Echelon. I'm not going to give up. That's pretty much it. And feel free to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm on. Peace. Bye.